Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another interview. Today, we've got Brendan Kane on the phone call with us today. Brendan is probably one of the best marketers as far as books go that I've read. He has two best-selling books. 1 Million Followers in 30 Days was his first book. And then his second one, he just barely launched and created. It's called Hook Points, How to Stand Out in a 3-Second World. Of all the marketing books I've read, it's probably the best one I've read as far as grabbing attention. He was able to build a following of 1 million followers plus in 3 days or less. The first question I wanted to ask you today, in your book, Hook Point, you said people generally care about themselves, not your brand, product, or business. If you constantly put your brand on the spotlight of your marketing material, people will tune it out. So my question is, how do you see marketers make this mistake in their ads?
Yeah, so these principles apply to organic just as much as it does to paid. And there's a few mistakes that I see people commonly make. One, the distinction of what social media really is. People think social media is a one-to-many platform. It's not. It's a one-to-one platform. So people often talk as if they're talking to an audience instead of talking to an individual. The best way to think about it is, when do you use social media? You're not sitting around a table with 5, 10, 15 of your friends watching it. You're sitting by yourself in your bed or on a couch or at a table, just swiping through your phone. So that's one of the first things, is you got to understand you're speaking to an individual, not to a huge audience. Secondarily, people approach the content that they're creating from what they want to get out of it. So in paid ads, what do we want? We want to get a lead. We want to get a sale. And that oftentimes is coming across in the content. It's like, hey guys, I want to share this amazing offer with you today. Well, first off, I said, hey guys, there's no hey guys around me as I look. Yeah. And then an offer. Well, who the hell wants an offer? Like, I'm not on social media to get an offer. So one of my friends, Craig Clemens, his company does over $1 million in revenue a day just off of social media ads. And he says the minute that you can convey somebody's pain point to them better than they can do it to themselves, that's when you win their trust. I don't care about your offer. I don't really care about what you're selling. What is the problem that you're solving for this individual? So everybody that's listening to this is, think about the greatest problem. It could be personal or professional, that keeps you up at night, that causes stress and anxiety. What if I came up to you and said, hey, I know you're experiencing this problem, and I would really love to solve it for you because I really know how painful it is for you. Versus, hey, I've got a really compelling offer for you. Would you take like 5 minutes to just listen to me? We don't like to be kind of sold. We love to buy things, but we just don't like to be sold, and we don't like to feel like we're being sold.
When it comes to finding people's pain points, another thing you mentioned in your book that I liked is you said you want your audience to have gut reactions. That was what you focused on to your content, rather than thoughts or a desire to analyze the video from a logical standpoint of view. So I guess a reason maybe I've made that mistake, where you just said people kind of make their ads that smell like ads, look like ads, like you're offering something, is I'm a very logical person. I'm very analytical. That's how I like to be sold to. And I guess a big problem I make is I say, okay, well, if I like to be sold that way, everybody probably does, right? And so I made that mistake and made it all logical and give these people all these reasons to buy. But you mentioned in your book the PCM model. So can you explain what the process communication model is, and maybe an example of how you've used that recently, or a way in which you've found some success with it?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, and I'll share my screen, is with this model, it really breaks down that people perceive the world in 6 different ways. Now, this doesn't put people into buckets. We have access to all 6. It just really comes down to our strengths and our weaknesses. And typically, individuals have 1 or 2 strengths in terms of, how they create content, communicate, consume content, and all of that. And then the rest are typically weak. To your point, you perceive the world through logic. So do I. So our tendency is to think that everybody else perceives the world that way. But if we start looking at this graph, that's 25% of the population, the facts here. So people like you and I, we process the world through what options, who, what, when, where, why. We want to see data. Does it make sense to us? We want structure. We want timeframes, all of that. But again, if we're to construct ads just from that perspective, that's alienating or disconnecting from 75% of the population. So let's move to the biggest one. So feelings. 30%. These people are very emotional about how they interact with the world. It's all about, do I really care about this? Does this make me happy? Does this make me sad? Does this make me feel comfortable? You know, you'll hear these people say, I feel a lot, versus here, you'll hear people say, I think. So then we go to the third largest, which is fun. So their currency is humor and reactions. So these people, it's not about how it makes them feel. It's not about facts or data. They want to know, is this going to be fun? Is this going to be entertaining? Is this going to be engaging? Their reactions are, I love it. I hate it. This is awesome. This sucks. It's kind of like this polar opposite reaction that you get by putting things in front of them. So then we move to values and opinions, which is 10%. So it's all about, I believe, do I trust this brand? Do I value what they're bringing to the table? Do I feel like they're dedicated and committed to me? Then there's 10% that's imagination. So these people are really reflecting. If you ever hear about Albert Einstein, he would spend 8 hours a day staring out in the window, and that's how he would come up with his best ideas. Some people think that they're just zoning out and not paying attention, but they're actually taking things in to reflect on it and make the right decision. This 10% here, you can tell them what to do. Same with this 5%, you can tell them what to do. The rest, you cannot. It's requested. So 85% of the population, you have to request something. So this is a huge mistake people make with their ads. They say, click the link below, buy this product, act now. That turns off about 85% of the population. So if you ever look at any of our ads, we're always asking, will you click the link below? Will you schedule a call with our team? Will you check out this book? So the last one, 5%, is action. They are not thinking, they are not feeling, they're not believing, they are acting. They're just moving. So they want the best. They want the bottom line. They want to go for it. So if you look at this just makes up the entire world. And what most marketers or content creators are falling flat with is they are just focusing on how they perceive the world and not how the entire audience, perceives the world. We want our marketing communication not to look like this, but we want to make it look like this. So it's very balanced.
Yeah, this was one of my favorite parts of the book because it reminds me of the love languages. Everyone knows the 5 love languages. And, when you get married or you start dating someone, you come to find that, I might be words of affirmation, right? I want to hear words. And so I start giving words of affirmation because I think that's how she wants to be treated. When in reality, maybe hers is physical touch and she wants a hug and a kiss. And so in that same regard, this is kind of the ad world of love languages, of speaking how they want to be spoken to.
Let me because you asked me for an example.
Yep.
Let's just say that we are going to rent or buy a house or an apartment, whatever you want to visualize. Most real estate agents, what they'll do is, hey, this is a 3-bedroom house with 1,200 square feet on an acre of land. All logic. So if I were to play with this and extend it out past 25%, I may start with the logic and say, this is a 3-bedroom house with 1,200 square feet.
Sure.
And on an acre of land. And did you check out the living room? Can you just imagine what it's going to feel like when your family's sitting around the living room opening up Christmas presents? Also, did you see the pool in the backyard? It is amazing. You're going to have the best parties, and your neighbors and your friends are going to be jealous because of how cool this party is. And I firmly believe, based upon what you told me, what you're looking for, that this is the right choice. And bottom line, you're not going to get a better deal than this property. So what I'm doing is not going too heavy in any direction. I'm just diversifying the same house in different ways. So yes, again, even with feelings and emotions being that 30%, you do not want to go so over the top with it and alienate the other people that don't perceive the world in that way, because you will get the reaction that you just had.
Hope you enjoyed that clip. To see the full video, you can join our mastermind group of 4,000 course creators at coursecreatorpro.com, where we have over 100 tutorials teaching you how to create, market, and sell online courses and digital products. We'll see you there.